Hi everyone, welcome to my channel Crochet for Baby. In today's tutorial I will show you how to do this hat. It's a hat I did for my son. He's 2 years old. It's a little bit bigger than what we did the last time. It's worked in the round using the moss stitch or the granite stitch, however way you know it. It's got different names. That's what we're going to be using for the stitch. The first thing that we need to do is we're going to work on the rim. The way that I did the rim is we're going to chain 5 and then we're going to do slip stitches all around, back and forth. I'm using a 5mm crochet hook, number 8, and just your regular normal yarn. I'm using Pound of Love. Okay, the first thing is we're going to do 5 chains. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and on the second chain from the hook we're going to do a slip stitch, a slip stitch on the next one, slip stitch on the next one, and slip stitch on the last one. There we go. We're going to chain 1, we're going to turn, and we're going to work on the back loops of each of these chains here. So on this chain here, we're just going to grab the back loop and we're going to do a slip stitch, back loop, slip stitch, back loop, slip stitch, back loop. I think 4 chains is long enough to do the rim. You could do more, or you can do the rim in whatever style that you're used to. I just think that this is, I like the way that this looks. It looks more like it has been done knitted. It gives it like a knitted look. Okay, same thing. We did chain 1, we turn, and then we continue to do slip stitches throughout the whole, through these 4 chains. And remember, we're just picking up the back loop of each of the chains. Okay, chain 1, turn, and you're going to continue this way until you have your desired length. I recommend that you measure, I guess, your child's head just to make sure that it's going to be a nice, not too tight, not too loose fit. So there we go. I have one here that I have already done. It measures 13 inches or 33 centimeters, and this is for a 2-year-old. Like I said, if you're going to do it for a smaller child, just make sure you measure their head and do it in that size. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to join our ends. I have here my end here. I'm going to introduce my hook through the very first chain here, and I'm going to grab this loop here and introduce it in the front. I'm going to grab it like that, and I'm just going to do 1 chain, and then I'm going to go back to that same space and put my hook in, and then grab the loop, the back loop of these chains back here, and I'm going to do a slip stitch. And then grab again the 2 loops that are in front here, but in the back here, just grab the back loop and do a slip stitch. And then the next one, 2 loops, back loop from the back, and do slip stitch. And on the last one, just pull it from back there and do the slip stitch. We're going to chain 1, and that's how you join your rim of the hat. This is going to be your the front, and this is the back. As you can see, it looks nice and uniformed. Okay, so I'll be back to show you the next step. Okay, once we have both ends joined, I put a stitch marker here, and I'm gonna grab the loop here. Remember, we did 1 chain after we finished, and we're gonna do single crochets all around this rim. And the single crochets go right here, right next to our stitch here that that the ones that look like, you know, the little bumpy stitches, we're going to put them right next to those. And what I'm going to do at the end is I'm going to count them, and what I want is an even number of single crochets throughout this whole first round. So I will meet you at the end to count that and make sure we have an even number of single crochets. Okay, I've come to the end here, and what we're going to do is we're going to do a slip stitch to the beginning of that first row, and I am going to switch from a 5mm hook to a 4.5mm hook. And I counted my single crochets on this previous round that we just did, and I do have 48 single crochets. So that's my count. I want to make sure that I stick with those numbers and I'm not adding any extras as we go along. So the next thing is I'm going to introduce the next color. In this case, I'm going to use this aqua here, and I'm just going to do a slip knot or slip here, slip it through there and pull the one in the back, and do a single a chain. And then immediately in this next space that's right next to our slip stitch, I'm going to do one single crochet. I'm going to chain one, and in the next space here where we did the single crochet, I'm going to do another single crochet, chain one, and then single crochet, chain one, single crochet. We're going to repeat this throughout the whole this whole row. Is just basically doing chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet in this color. So I'll meet you once I get here to the end. Okay, I've come to the end here, and I have one more. I would have done another chain here, but I don't want to do that. This is where we're going to be a little bit careful, because if I were to add a chain there, that creates a space. So when I come back around, it leaves a space for me to do a single crochet, and I do not want to do that because it'll start growing on the sides for me, and that's basically I'm adding an extra stitch, and I don't want that to happen. So remember, once you come here to the end, you're not going to do a chain. You're just going to do a slip stitch to the beginning of that row. We're going to chain one, and we're going to do our second row starting with this space here. This is where I told you we were going to do I was supposed to do a chain, but we're not, so we're just going to stick our hook through there, back here, and pull up a loop and do a single crochet. I'm going to chain one, and I'm going to move to the next space. I'm not going to do this here, but I'm going to do it here. Okay, so chain one, single crochet in the chain one space, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet. You're going to continue this way until you come to the beginning or to the end of this row and start the next row. So I'll meet you there. Okay, I've come here to the end, and remember, we're not going to do one chain. We're just immediately going to do a slip stitch to the beginning of this row, and I am going to introduce the gray color again in this row, since I've already completed 2 rows of the this aqua blue color. So I'm just going to grab a loop, pull the back, create do a chain, and here we're going to do the same thing. We're not going to do the first single crochet here. Always, and in every row we're going to start back to this hole that's immediately under the slip stitch right there. We're going to do single crochet, and also I've made sure that I have the same number of single crochets that I began with, which is 48 for me. So just make sure you count those. That way, you know, your work doesn't start to grow. Okay, so we did our first single crochet. We're going to do chain one, and immediately where we have our first chain one space from the previous row, which is here, not here, but here, that's where we're going to start our single crochet, chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet. We're gonna complete this row, and I'll meet you once we're here at the end again. Okay, I've come to the end here, and again I counted my single crochets, and I have 48, exactly the same number that I started with. Once you come to the end, remember we don't do a chain. We're just immediately going to come here and do a slip stitch to the beginning of this row, and then chain one. Here you can switch colors again, however way you want to do it. I'm just going to show you as if I'm doing 2 rows of the same color. So I chained one, and immediately right below this the slip stitch that we did, there's this little hole right there. I'm going to stick my hook through there, and I'm going to do a single crochet, a chain one, and then I'm going to find my first chain one space, which is this one here. I'm not going to do here anything. I'm just going to move over here to this chain one space, and I'm going to start my stitch there again. Single crochet, chain one, single crochet on the next chain one space. You're going to continue this way until you have approximately 26 rows, which is how many I have on this hat, and that fits my 2-year-old. So continue to do these rows, and I'll meet you here so that we can start doing the decreases. Okay, I have my 26 rows here. I just finished here my last row and joined in from the beginning. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a chain, and immediately again in this one space down here I'm going to do another single crochet. I'm going to chain one, and we're going to start doing the decreases to form our the top of the hat. So to do that, we're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop, insert our hook in the next chain one space, pull up a loop, and close, chain one. Same thing, we're going to repeat again. We're going to insert our hook in the next chain one space, pull up a loop, insert it again, pull up a loop. We have 3 loops in the hook, close it, chain one. We're going to repeat this until we get to the end, and I will meet you there. Remember, just insert your hook in the next chain one space, insert your hook in the next chain one space, and close, chain one. You're going to do this throughout this whole row, and I'll see you at the end. Okay, I'm here at the end of this first row of decreases. I'm going to chain one, and as you can see, I still have one more space here where there isn't enough for me to do one more decrease. So I'm just going to chain one and then insert my hook in there and do a single crochet. I'm not going to do a chain one, but I'm going to do a slip stitch here to the beginning of the row. And that completes this first decrease row. To do the next row, I'm going to change colors. I'm going to grab my gray from the back. I'm going to do chain one, and again in the same space that we do our first chain one down here, I'm going to do our first chain single crochet right there. So I did a slip stitch, I did a chain one, and then we went back down here in the same space here and did a single crochet, chain one, and then I'm going to go to the next chain one space, which is this one here. Remember, we did a chain one right there. I'm going to insert my hook in there, and I'm going to do a single crochet, chain one, single crochet on the next chain one space. We're going to continue to do this round like this. We're not going to do any decreases, just chain one, single crochet, chain one, single crochet until we come to the end, and I'll show you what we need to do then. Okay, I've come to the end here. We're gonna do a slip stitch to the beginning of the row and join right there, and I'm gonna chain one, and immediately in this space here, again above the slip stitch, we're gonna insert our hook, pull up a loop, and do a single crochet, chain one. Find your first chain one space from the previous row, insert your hook in there, pull up a loop, chain one, find your next chain one space, do a single crochet, chain one, and you're going to continue this way. We're not going to reduce anything. We're not working on any decreases. We're just going to do another normal row. So I'll meet you here at the end, and so that I can show you what you need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. Remember, we're not going to chain one. We're only going to join here to the beginning of the row with a slip stitch. And here I am going to change colors. I'm going to grab the blue and leave the gray. pull the gray so that it tightens a little on the back, and I'm going to do a chain 1. And again, immediately in the space under here, right where we did a slip stitch, we're going to do 1 single crochet, chain 1, and we're going to do some decreases in this row. Again, the same way that we did it. We're going to insert our hook, pull up a loop in the chain 1 space, and then find your next chain 1 space, insert your hook, pull up a loop, and close with a chain. Find your next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, find the next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, close, chain 1. You're going to do this throughout this row. Find your chain 1, pull up a loop, find your chain 1, pull up a loop, 3 loops, chain 1. You're going to do this throughout the end, and I'll meet you there to show you what the next step is. Okay, I've gotten here to the end. I don't have any more spaces, so remember, we're not going to do a chain 1. We're just going to immediately do a slip stitch and join to this round. For the next round, since I'm doing gray, I'm going to switch colors. I'm going to grab the gray and leave the blue, pull the blue a little bit from the back, and chain 1. And again, we're going to do a single crochet right here in that space right above where we did our slip stitch, and chain 1. In this row, we're not going to, or this round, we're not going to do any reductions or any decreases. So we're just going to do our normal single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1 in each of the chain 1 spaces. You're going to continue this way until you reach the end, and I will meet you there to show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. Remember, no chain. We're just going to do a slip stitch and join, chain 1, and then do immediately a single crochet for the next row, chain 1. We're not going to do any reductions in this row. We're just going to work another normal row of your single crochet, chain 1, single crochet, chain 1. Work around this this row until we come to the end, and I'll meet you there to show you what we need to do. So chain 1, single crochet, chain 1, single crochet. Okay, I've come to the end here. We're just going to join here with a slip stitch, and we're going to do one last round. This one we're going to do some more decreases. We're going to chain 1, insert our hook again in that same space right above our slip stitch, and do a single crochet, chain 1, and we're going to find our first chain 1 space, which is here, insert our hook, pull up a loop, insert a hook in our next chain 1 space, close it, chain 1. Okay, we're going to find the next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, next chain 1 space, pull up a loop, close, chain 1. Again, chain 1 space, chain 1 space, close, chain 1. Okay, you're going to finish this round like this, and I'll show you what we need to do next. Okay, I'm here at the end. I did my last decrease. What I need to do is I'm going to join here with a slip stitch to the beginning of that row, and I am going to cut my yarn, which I already did, and we're going to finish this. I usually like to tie a little knot here, and if you have a needle, just put this through your needle and weave the end through this last piece through each of these little chain 1 spaces, and so that we can close our hat, just like what I'm doing right here. I couldn't find my needle, but the hook works just as fine. So just weave it through this last part here, and one more. There we go. Put this through the back, turn it, pull it. We're going to pull this here and close it. I usually just like to tie this like that, and then make sure you cut your ends here and hide them, and the end result is this. This is how it looks. Here's your hat. Let me fix it a little. There we go. Here's the first one that I showed you guys, and here is this one that we just did. And that is today's tutorial. I hope you liked it. Let me know what you think. If you have any questions, let me know. Thank you for watching my videos, and I'll see you next time.